Okay, so something important that we should talk about is our keybinds. Our keybinds are very important because when you fight, you cannot click like this here and then have to go to your offenses and select whatever skill you have to use. It takes an enormous amount of time to have to do this. So this way of fighting for whoever is doing this is not possible. It does not make you competitive. So in NCS, in our NCS folder, we have some gestures here. These gestures can be our keybinds. For example, here F3, if you go into the gesture and you activate it, it will make this button that is called F3, it will make it act as whatever skill you set it to. So, for example, if I press set, we'll look at this blink indicator here, and then this means that if I click here and then I select what I wanted to do, offense, and I put haze 19 there, that means that the F3 button here will act as haze 19, and the way to do that is to go to this F3 here and activate it. And then you see it says that if I press F3 on my keyboard, it will do this. So what it will do what we just set it to. It will press haze. And also you see here it says shortcut key. So this means that if we press F3 on our keyboard, it is going to do it. But there is a problem with that. The F keys on our keyboard, F3, F4, F5, F6, up to F9, are too far. And in combat, when you want to use an ability, you cannot when you want to use an ability, you cannot reach all the way, for example, to F9. You don't have such long fingers to be able to reach so far. For example, I play with W, A, S, and D. It is not possible for me to reach further than F4. So we don't use Fs. We don't use F3. Uh, my keybinds, how they are like this. Let's see. I will show you. Here, I use this keybind here, which is this keybind here is located next to the button 1, and I use this to drain racials. So this is my racial still. Then I use 1. 1 is haze. Then 2. 2 is revitalize. Then 3. 3 is knockdown. Let's make it a bit more clear. Then I use R. R is ferocity. Then F, adamant. Then C is my silence. Then Q is my haze, but lower rank, at the rank 2, haze 2. What else I have? Let's see. Then on 4, I have revitalize rank 1, and then on 5, I have cover. I think this is all. And also, I use W, A, S, and D to move. W, A, S, and D. So, what I want to say by this is that because also I use my space button as my combat activation button. which is, if you remember in the earlier videos, it is the button that allows your avatar to hit when you hold it down. So all of these buttons here, what I want to show you is that all of those buttons here are around this A, S, D, and W, because you will always be using your A, S, D, and W to move. So what you want is to train yourself to use binds like this that are very close to your movement buttons, because in combat you will not be able to reach all the way to F8, for example. You will have to take your hand off your movement keys and then press whatever skill you have to press, or take your hand off your mouse and then press whatever skill you have to press. It does not work. If you want to be good at this game, you have to train the right habits. You have uh, you need to have a very good basis and train upon it. If you train the wrong habits, then forever you will play in an uncomfortable way, and you will keep reinforcing a habit that is not useful to you. So maybe this should even have been the first video that I made. It should have been I should have shown this to you from the start, because it is the very basis that you have to set for yourself comfortable keybinds, comfortable so that they can be fast to use, and you have to train yourself to use them all the time. So how I play is I move with W, A, S, and D, and these are my keybinds. And this is a personal preference. You don't have to have these exact keybinds. You can have something completely different. You can even bind everything to your mouse if it suits you better. But the important thing is that they should be somewhere that is very, very, very easy to reach. You should not have to stretch your fingers to press your keybinds. You should not have to train yourself into bad habits. So, how to move with A, W, S, and D? Let's see. It is somewhere here, the setting. I think it's this one. Pressing letter keys affects movement. W, A, S, and D instead of starting nearby chat. I think it's on by default. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. It's this one. So if you click this setting here, you will start moving with W, A, S, and D. And the advantage of that is that you have many buttons around your fingers then to set as comfortable keybinds. The first thing you have to do in this game before all the settings that we already mentioned is to have comfortable keybinds so that you can train yourself in the right way.